Senate establishes committee for comprehensive review of tax reform bills. Christian-Muslim communities in Jos North commit to mutual coexistence to mitigate crisis. Bandits strike again, explosives planted on Zamfara Road claim lives. On the foreign scene, South Korean President Yoon faces impeachment as thousands protest his martial law order. Hello and welcome to News Hour. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. The Senate on Wednesday yielded to public pressure by suspending deliberations on the 4 controversial tax reform bills sent in by President Bola Tinubu until contentious issues are sorted out. The Senate has now mandated the Committee on Finance to halt any further action, including public hearings, until further notice. In a move to address the disagreements, the Senate has established a 10-member committee charged with engaging with the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, to address the areas of contention. The announcement was made by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barrow Jibrin, who presided over the plenary this Wednesday. He noted that the Senate Minority Leader, Abba Moro, will lead the senators to the meeting on Thursday. President Bola Tinubu had on Tuesday directed the Minister of Justice to work with the National Assembly to address the concerns raised by different stakeholders on the tax reform bills.
With respect to the issues surrounding the tax reform bills, all the areas of disagreement, and resolve them for the interest of this nation. It is therefore proposed that by tomorrow there will be a meeting with the committee that will set up here and the leadership to sit down with the Attorney General to look at those issues and resolve them. It's on this note that the Committee on Finance that the bills have been referred to should halt action on public hearing and other issues until we resolve these issues.
Christian and Muslim communities in Yelwa, Zangam, an outskirts community in Jos North local government area of Plateau State, have agreed to coexist with one another after an attack that rocked the area. TUS TV reports that on August 25th, 2021, over 30 people, including women and children, were killed in a night attack, a situation that strained the relationship between the two communities. Ado Musa, who visited the community, filed in the report.
Yelwa Zangam is one of the communities in Jos North local government area that has suffered a deadly attack in 2021, resulting in the loss of many in the area. Several houses and properties were destroyed during the attack. The attack sparked widespread condemnation, leading to mistrust between the Muslim and Christian communities around the Yelwa axis. In a move to rebuild confidence between the communities, residents say they have resolved to live peacefully with one another, irrespective of their differences. Honestly, we have faced numerous problems in the last few years, to the point where Christians and Muslims could not visit their respective communities. However, through prayers and a series of meetings, we have now come together as one entity. We can visit each other now without any issue. To sustain this effort, we regularly meet to enlighten members on the need to live peacefully. The Yelwa incident was a traumatic experience that left us deeply unsettled. However, I am pleased to say that peace is gradually returning to the area. We are now living harmoniously with one another, just as our fathers did. We share experiences, discuss development strategies for our communities, and actively participate in each other's celebrations. Women in community have also lent their voices on the development. Since the attack, we have had series of engagements. Now we always come together for engagement. We encourage cordial relationships between women from our community and those in the Muslim community. Once a problem arises, we are able to detect it and resolve it amicably. The crisis led to tensions between our Christian neighbors and us. Thankfully, we have now come to understand each other better, and we are grateful to Allah for this wonderful harmony. The women in our community are particularly thrilled about this renewed relationship. We now exchange greetings, engage in business transactions, and participate in various activities that bring us closer. With peace and unity gradually returning to the community, the residents also hope that the communities will never again experience such a traumatic situation in the area. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
One person has been killed, 3 others injured in Ertasha village of Maru local government area of Zamfara state after an explosive device suspected to be bomb exploded in the area. The incident reportedly occurred around 8 a.m. on Wednesday after a commercial driver conveying passengers to Ansadel town ran on the device suspected to have been planted by bandits. This is the second time an explosive device planted along the Ansadel road is exploding within a week. A similar device suspected to be planted by bandits exploded last Sunday after being hit by an 18-seater bus, killing only the driver on board. A resident of Ertasha village who declined to be identified said the driver of the car, a Volkswagen Golf model, ran onto the device which instantly exploded and destroyed the vehicle. Earlier, we spoke to Daily Trust regional editor Yusha'u Amu, who gave us this update on the incident.
Well, what actually happened was that it was an explosive device that was planted under a local bridge along Lansadau Road in Maru local government area of Zamfara state, expectedly in the night. And in the morning, today in the morning, a commercial driver was passing through the road and he stepped on the device and it was exploded. According to unofficial report, the vehicle was carrying 12 people, but the police commissioner confirmed that only one person died and 3 others critically injured. And he further went ahead to say that according to their preliminary investigation, it was the remnants of Lakurawa terrorists who were pressed by the Nigerian operatives to leave the country that were on their way to Brunungwari forest that they planted the bomb at that place. And he said presently the operatives under the Operation Pansar Ariwa are trailing the terrorists through the forest to see that such incidents did not happen again. And if you could recall, like 3 days ago, similar incidents happened around that axis of Lansadau, where they planted the same or similar devices along the same road, killing a driver. So this is the situation on the part of the security. On the part of the residents, sincerely speaking, people were seriously panicked because some of the people I have spoken with, they were saying it seems the terrorists have developed a new strategy of operation, which will make traveling by road difficult for them, because unless the government and the security take decisive measures to address the situation, it could be difficult for them to continue moving around by road. So that is the situation presently.
All right, thank you, Yushal, for that. Now, you said, of course, we know now this is the second one that's happening. What is the security operatives doing in terms of going about to make sure that there are no more hidden explosives that could, turn up and blow up people to prevent this happening again? Apart from just chasing this terrorist, going about checking for these explosive devices in that community?
Well, in my brief chat with the CP, he was calling on the general public, especially the communities around those areas, to keep their eyes on the people moving around them and inform the security operatives any movement of suspicious person. Because according to him, this issue of security is able to disappear, and unless they get the usable information from the community that are living there, they cannot be there, and that is the only way the community will help the security to address the situation.
All right, just before you go, earlier you said that, just for us to confirm and have the information correct, according to the police commissioner, just one person died, not 12 people.
Yes, this is what the CP said. He said only one person died and 3 others are injured, and they were rushed to the general hospital in Sansado for medical treatment.
Trust TV's Chiamaka there speaking with the Trust TV's regional editor, Ishau Adamu, on the security situation in Zamfara State. The Kogi State government has ordered the immediate closure of Zango Market and also banned roadside parking of trucks in the vicinity that is located along Lokoja-Okene Highway in Adavi local government area of the state. This is contained in a statement signed and made available to newsmen in Lokoja on Wednesday by the State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Kingsley Fango. The statement disclosed that the government took the decision in response to the growing security concerns in the area, particularly Osara and its surrounding environment. According to the statement, the state government has given market operators and truck drivers a 1-week grace period starting Wednesday to adhere to these directives. Accordingly, the state governor has directed the secretary to the state government to officially communicate the order to all relevant parties, including law enforcement agencies, to ensure effective compliance. The Joint Security Task Force in Imo State, also known as Operation Udoka, said it has discovered some shallow graves in the Aku community axis of Okigwe local government area of the state, where members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOD, and its armed affiliate, the Eastern Security Network, ESN, allegedly buried their victims. The shallow graves were discovered during a clearance operation at Aku community, which has been under the siege by a suspected IPOD leader, Ifeanyi Okoreanta, alias Gentle, for a long period of time. Also, the Joint Security Task Force during the raid said they discovered, or rather recovered, several stolen vehicles, arms, ammunition, and explosive devices. However, during an assessment tour of the area by the commander of the 34 Artillery Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Obinze, Brigadier General Usman Lawal, who was accompanied by the State Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma, and the Special Advisor to the Imo State Governor on Security, Joseph Ogbonna, said the clearance operation at Aku community is part of the determination of all security operatives in the state, in collaboration with the state government, to bring to an end the era of terror and insecurity in the state, occasioned by the activities of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its armed affiliate, Eastern Security Network. He further disclosed that about 20 persons have been arrested and are in police detention, while also reiterating the need for members of the community to collaborate with security operatives to sustain peace and stability in the area. The Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs has assured Nigerians of a better future ahead despite the enormous challenges in the country at the moment. Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, gave these assurances while speaking on Wednesday in Bauchi. He spoke at the 3rd and 4th quarterly review meeting of the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on Health. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has details.
Participants at this meeting agreed that renewed collective commitment to communities in the region will result in the country being better off. The idea is that reflecting on shared achievements will help to address challenges bedeviling in the northern region.
Work harder, reach out to everybody. We have peace and stability. Despite the challenges we are facing, we will be better people, inshallah. We will never ever lose hope. We continue to work and continue to pray and continue to change our ways so that we have a good life, that Almighty Allah will be pleased with us and give us the best we ask of Him here and in the hereafter, inshallah.
The Coordinating Minister of Health, Ali Pate, is unveiling the federal government's transformation agenda on health in all 36 states across the country. He is confident that the project will improve healthcare in all Nigerian communities.
For this country to be much better than what it is today, to be prosperous into the future, and at the core of that prosperity, good health begets hope, because without health, there is no hope. And it's the consequence of that that he unveiled a specific transformational agenda just a year ago. And all the 36 state governors of this country signed a compact, and 17 development partners signed a compact with the federal government to focus on improving the health of our population. And His Excellency, the Governor of Gov't State, did that, and we're joining hands with all the 36 state governors in the Federal Capital Territory to expand the services that will reach to our population.
The chairman of the Northern Traditional Leaders Committee on Health, Emir of Arugungu, Samaila Mohammed Mere, urged member states to improve healthcare service delivery to the people. Donor partners are appreciating the contribution of traditional institutions in the fight against polio virus and other health challenges in the country. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Parents engaged as community volunteers in Bauchi State have called on the state government to prioritize the welfare of health workers to improve immunization coverage across the state. The volunteers, who are part of the Fathers for Good Health initiative, made the request at the end of awareness campaigns in Misau and Ningi local government areas of Bauchi. Trust TV's Adam Imam completes the story.
The selected parents at the community level, known as Fathers for Good Health initiative, were chosen to educate members of communities, particularly household, on the need to allow their wives to attend community health engagements on immunization days. Aliya Huza and Wakile Haruna, both participants from Ningi and Misau, share their experiences. Our people need to pay attention to their health. That is why we are volunteering. We talk to them about the importance of being healthy, because whatever you have, if you are not healthy, you won't be able to take care of your family. This is a welcome development. We have encountered situations where community members request to know the immediate benefit of these initiatives. However, we explained that health is paramount. A sick child can bring immense suffering to a family. Volunteering in these communities is a way to contribute to the brighter future of our children. The State Primary Healthcare Board Agency, while appreciating the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF for their effort, said the agency is working closely with other health partners to take immunization coverage to the doorsteps of all.
Over times, our mothers are the one bringing children to facility, and they when they deliver, they go back again home, and they come back home, follow up. But we realize that some of them are being avoided and prevented from coming to our facility. Even after antenatal care, they don't allow them to deliver in the facility, talking of immunization. They prevent them, it's the father that prevents them from coming for immunization, because of one reason or the other, without any strong reason. So we say, okay, if they say that a woman problem is a woman's problem, we need a woman to solve. Now, since this is a problem of father, then we need the fathers to talk to themselves, not going into the household. They will talk to the fathers outside and convince the father that, look, there's need to immunize all the children that are not vaccinated without any reason. All the fathers that were contacted, no one has said no, up to now.
The volunteers emphasize the importance of community engagement, working closely with village heads and other stakeholders to achieve universal health coverage at the primary healthcare level. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, LASCOPA, has sealed Blessed Happy Homes Superstore at 6th Avenue, 13th Road, Festac Town, for selling expired products. The store is also accused of violating health and safety regulations and putting customers' well-being at risk. In a post on X, the agency stated that the owner of the supermarket will be made to face the consequences of his or her misconduct.
On the 22nd of November 2024, the Monitoring and Enforcement Department of the Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, in the course of its monitoring responsibilities, was at the Festac area, and in the course of doing their monitoring, they entered the supermarket called Happy Home Superstores around Festac, and in the course of monitoring, a lot of expired products were found. And it's very unfortunate that we still persist in this part of the world to be doing this, because considering the numbers of products that are found, even baby food that have expired since 2023 were found in displayed for sale, and other consumables. And it's very unfortunate that things like this are still happening. They were invited to the office. Unfortunately, they did not come. So we had no cause just to revert to the court. We approached the court and we got an order to seal the place.
Members of the Independent National Identification Agents Union in Nigeria's Southwest region have protested an alleged non-payment of their 2 years commission and unlawful invalidation of their operational licenses by the leadership of the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC. The group, led by Taiwo Odebumi, who spoke on behalf of more than 120 affected agents, called for the swift intervention of President Bola Tinubu-led federal government on the issue. Speaking with newsmen in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, Odebumi said the hardship that they have been subjected to as a result of the non-payment of the commission and invalidation of their operational licenses have made life most uncomfortable and unbearable for their members.
They gave us a proposal, but they said NIMC required a special equipment for that purpose. And most of us that are businessmen don't have such equipment. And when we were told the cost of the procurement of the equipment, which was over 4 million naira, we said there was no way we could get it. Our employer now decided that and discussed with NIMC that they can approach NASA Microfinance Bank and work out a program whereby it will benefit us, and from our enrollment we will be repaying the loan. We received training from NIMC for about a month before we were finally engaged.
Supporters of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections have raised alarm over alleged plans to arrest Peter Obi for speaking truth to power. The national coordinator of the Obedient Movement, Yunus Atanko, disclosed this to journalists in Kaduna while demanding the release of Dele Farotimi, who was earlier arrested by security agencies. The report.
The Obedient Movement national coordinator expressed dismay over the current economic challenges in the country, which, according to them, have continued to worsen the untold hardship Nigerians are wallowing in.
They floated the naira, increased the exchange rate of naira to dollar from the rate of $1 to 1,800 naira, as the case may be, which has trickled-down effect on purchasing and consumption without being creative in reviving the economy, or to even revive our industry, or to support agriculture or boost the economy. The purported tax reform, which has a sinister motive, will further impoverish the people without commensurate productivity or reform that can help the nation's economy to thrive.
According to them, the protection of human rights and promotion of free speech are essential to a healthy democracy, and therefore frown at any attempt to tamper with the right of Mr. Peter Obi.
We are aware of the one-by-one arrests, which is targeted towards the arrest of His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi for speaking truth to power. We want to assure you that we will resist any form of cruelty and flagrant abuse of power against Mr. Peter Obi. On this note, we unequivocally condemn this nefarious act, abuse of power, and demand that the Nigerian police respect Dele Farotimi's fundamental rights as enshrined in Section 40 of Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. We urge the Nigerian authority to ensure immediate and unconditional release, guaranteed that his rights are protected throughout the process.
They are also calling on international community to stand in solidarity with Dele Farotimi, who was arrested for alleged defamation. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, Lagos transporters lament rising costs as energy prices drive up transportation fares. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. We told you Senate establishes committee charged with the comprehensive review of tax reform bills. And Christians, Muslim communities in Jos North commit to mutual coexistence to mitigate crisis. Moving on to other stories, wholesalers and retailers of fruits in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, have confirmed the unavailability of tangerine, despite the fact that Taraba is among the states that grow the fruit in large quantity. While many still wonder what could have been the reason for the scarcity, some sellers said the shortage may not be unconnected to the fact that some farmers are planting other crops in farms that were originally meant for their tangerine. The report.
Tangerines are small, sweet citrus fruits with a vibrant orange color. They are known for their easy-to-peel skin and are juicy with flavorful flesh. Tangerines are a great source of vitamin C, which is essential for immune function and skin health. They also contain nutrients like vitamin A, potassium, and fiber. They are common in Taraba and Benue states from November to April. This year, unlike others, the situation has changed as this easy-to-get citrus fruit has become difficult to get due to its scarcity. Several reasons have been given to justify the scarcity in the market.
I buy my tangerines from Mutumbiu and sometimes from Wukari. Tangerines are scarce here because they are bought at the same price as ordinary oranges. So farmers prefer to sell them elsewhere. If ordinary oranges sell for 100 naira, tangerines should sell for 200 naira because they are not the same.
Shi lemu ya kasance wani abu ne da ake kawo shi a nan da ya zama ba a noma.
Most of the products are not from here. They are brought from Benue and Ibadan. 90% of the oranges are tangerines because they are sweeter, juicier, and more fragrant than other varieties. The farmers said it is not the right season yet, and the price they used to get here is not good, so they prefer to sell elsewhere where they can get a better price. But when they are fully available, they will bring them here.
Buyers of tangerine have also been decrying the seemingly unavailability of the fruit, which has been part of their fruits menu during the season.
I prefer tangerines to any other orange because they are sweeter, juicier, and more fragrant. Before, if I couldn't buy them here, I used to buy them at the main market. But today, I have checked everywhere and can't find them. Ba wanda nake so in ga ina sha kaman tangerine. There is no orange like a tangerine, and this is the season. It is becoming available in the market. I can buy ordinary oranges if I can't find tangerines. The states I know that produces them are Benue and Taraba.
According to wholesalers, the situation will change in the next 3 weeks to a month when the fruit becomes much more available across many farms in the region.
Season approaches, Nigerians are facing significant increases in transportation costs, particularly for intercity bus travels. This surge in fares is directly linked to the removal of fuel subsidies, which has significantly impacted the operating costs of transport operators. The report.
The removal of fuel subsidies in Nigeria has drastically changed the transportation landscape. Many Nigerians have abandoned their private vehicles in favor of public transport due to the soaring cost of fuel. This has led to the increased demand for buses, motorcycles, and other public transport options. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, intercity bus fares rose marginally to 0.18% in October 2024, reaching 17,187 naira 62 kobo. This represents a substantial year-on-year increase of 22.12% within cities. Bus fare grew by 0.98% to an average of 908 naira 15 kobo, while motorcycles Okada fares increased by 0.75% to 535 naira 98 kobo. Despite the increasing costs and congestions, public road transport remains the most accessible option for most Nigerians due to its relevant affordability compared to air or water travel.
So now, this time around now, 30,500 from Lagos to Kano. Check them. If you want to drop for Lokoja or Abuja, Zuba, or Kaduna, or Zaria, not the same. So if you want to go east, now where December don't reach. If you want to go east, now the same money. Now the same money, 30,000. The same money if you want to go east. East not be 6 hours. Now the same money. So now where they see this country, the road no good. Road no good. Fuel cost, diesel cost, everything don't scatter. So what's in there for Nigeria now? Everything don't scatter.
Abuja will start Abuja from Lagos to Abuja to Kano, anywhere to Kano. So yes, Kano is last bus stop. We started our area for now. And then Meduguri, that was going to 50,000 naira. So you understand me? Meduguri and Kasina, Sokoto, everywhere.
A lot of challenges. You can't even compare before and now. There is no good road and all these things. And before it was 27,500, and due to the cost of living and diesel and spare parts, it is now 30,500. So, and even the passenger is not that much to, sometimes we are carrying 51 and you say it is not reached that level of the bus that will go that exact 51. So there is a lot of challenges, seriously. There's no good road, diesel, spare part, everything is now costly. So that is the reason that the transport fare increased.
This particular bus you are seeing, it's consuming about 500 liters per trip from here to north. And that actually, in summary, it costs about 750,000 naira. You understand? So, and we are taking each passenger at 27,500 currently. But I didn't know in other time we may increase it due to, how will I call it, festival season. You understand? So, and there are some challenges we do face.
Transport fare is 30,500. The challenges we are facing now is the bad road. The government cannot fix the road. You understand? We have a bad road. Instead of at least 10 to 12 hours will take you to the north to your destination. But it will take you like 24 hours nowadays, or even 2 days ahead before getting to your destination. So that is one of the challenges we are facing.
The shift from private to public transport underscores the urgent need for policy interventions to alleviate the burden on commuters and create a more inclusive and affordable transport system.
As the current economic challenges persist, auto dealers in Lagos State have been telling Trust TV News some of the challenges facing their businesses amid rising inflation. According to them, the situation has led to a drastic reduction in patronage due to continued erosion of the purchasing power of Nigerians. Victoria Tokolo has more in this report as presented from our studio.
As Nigeria grapples with soaring inflation, a weakening naira, and rising import costs, the car dealership industry is facing its toughest challenges in years. With vehicle prices escalating at alarming rates, Nigeria's purchasing power has taken a hit, forcing many auto dealers to rethink their strategies. In Lagos State, Trust Television spoke to some auto dealers who gave insights on how the fluctuating foreign exchange rate, especially the rise of the dollar, are reshaping the auto industry.
At this time, a number of people can no longer afford to buy fairly used car, talk less of new one. Take for example, Toyota Corolla 2004 model used for Uber or Taxify, that 2004 model. Sometimes last year was still going for like 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 as the case may be. But now the same vehicle is going for 8.5 million, 9 million, 10 million in some places. So it depends on the neatness and all that. So a whole lot contributes to this.
Presently, Nigeria is a unique country itself. When we talk about buying of vehicles, what people do now is fix their old cars, try as much as possible to put them back on the road because the cost of buying new cars are very high. So patronage has been slow. It has not been easy, and it's not only on automobile. I believe in most other businesses because of the prices of the dollar exchange rates. It fluctuates, it goes down and goes up 20 times more when it goes down. So it has not been easy for us generally.
So the price is outrageous and most people cannot even afford to buy. Like in those days, we usually sell Toyota Corolla for 1 point something. The Toyota Corolla for 1 point something now is about 8 million plus. So you look at even more than 5 times the price before. So everything is outrageous. The import duty is much, the dollar is much, $1 for 1,750. So that is just the problem.
The drastic rise in prices of vehicles has forced many Nigerians to reconsider their car buying habits. People who could once afford imported, fairly used vehicles are now opting for cars already registered in Nigeria due to price considerations. With the present economic situation in the country, auto dealers are calling for intervention in terms of economic diversification.
The Senate has mandated its Committee on Aviation to summon the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. The Red Chamber also resolved to summon the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, Captain Chris Najomo, airline operators, as well as other relevant stakeholders over incessant flight delays and cancellations. The report.
The Senate's resolution followed a motion presented by Senator Buhari Abdul Fattah during plenary, highlighting the negative impact of these disruptions on Nigeria's socio-economic growth and public confidence in the aviation sector.
Mr. President, the Senate note from series of reportage from both the print and electronic media as well as the social media in the country, the incessant delay and cancellation of flight by airline operator in Nigeria, which ceaselessly seem to be increased in recent time. Mr. President, also note that this development is worrisome, as air travel is one of the most reliable, dependable, and quicker means of transportation, often undertaken for business official purpose, and to keep to the scheduled appointment, which are usually time-bound.
A cross-section of lawmakers expressed reservations with the incessant flight delays and cancellations rocking the sector.
Nigerian airports are the only airports in the whole wide world where your flights are delayed without any explanation, without any apology. Your flights are cancelled without any apologies, without any announcement. And so I think that it is high time we take very stern stance on some of these issues.
We all have experienced delays and cancellation of flights in Nigeria. And it's not a comfortable situation in any country where these things happen. But Mr. President, I want to situate the conditions and the operating environment for our airline operators in Nigeria.
The Committee on Aviation was mandated to investigate the increasing frequency in flight delays and cancellations by airline operators in the country.
Mandate the Senate Committee on Aviation to invite the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, airline operators, and other relevant stakeholders to, among other things, unravel the circumstances behind the incessant flight delays and cancellations with a view to finding a lasting solution to the problem.
The investigation aims to uncover the root causes of the persistent disruptions and propose lasting solutions to improve the reliability and efficiency of air travel in Nigeria.
The House of Representatives has advised the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals and Development to establish a Nigerian lithium production agency under the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007. The proposed agency is expected to develop a vertically integrated lithium industry, create a regulatory framework, and design a lithium value chain policy linking mining approvals to midstream and downstream investments. The report.
House also called for increased funding for the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, NGSA, to conduct detailed mineral mapping and higher resolution surveys to accurately assess Nigeria's lithium deposits. The motion was sponsored by Representative Victor Obozo.
The House is worried that the country is facing a pivotal moment in its mining industry due to rising global demand for the renewable energy, but is repeating past mistakes in the oil and gas sector by focusing solely on the upstream value chain, losing the opportunities that come with operating the downstream segments. Mr. Speaker, the price of high-quality lithium carbonate increased from $5,180 in 2010 to $46,000 in 2023, with a peak of $68,100 in 2022, making previously abandoned deposits economically viable.
In another motion, the House has directed its Committee on Disabilities to investigate the Abuja Rehabilitation Center and the social protection programs of the Federal Capital Territory Administration. The resolution, based on a motion by Representative Bashiru Daudu, aims to address issues affecting beggars, including inadequate funding and ineffective rehabilitation strategies. Daudu highlighted that most beggars in the FCT are individuals with disabilities alongside Almajiri children, internally displaced persons, and the unemployed. He expressed concern over the failure of short-term measures like arrests and repatriations, noting the semi-functional state of the Buhari Rehabilitation Center. He stressed the need for long-term solutions such as improved funding, rehabilitation, survival allowances, and resettlement programs to curb endemic begging.
The House notes that majority of the beggars are individuals with disabilities, with other contributing factors including Almajiri, internally displaced persons, poverty, unemployment, as well as cultural factors. Concerned that begging is an age-long standing social ill in Nigeria. FCT administration since 2003 have declared war on beggars and used law enforcement to apprehend, prosecute, or repatriate them to their own states.
The Green Chamber also called on the federal government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to urgently address the difficulties faced by Nigerian Bilateral Education Agreement (BEA) scholars abroad. The lawmakers urged the ministry to ensure the timely and complete disbursement of scholarship funds and living allowances. The resolution followed a motion by Honorable Adeshola Adedayo during plenary.
Concerned that there is an increasing number of BEA scholars who are facing numerous challenges in the course of the program. Some of these challenges include delays in stipend payments and shortfall in stipend disbursement, reduction in supplementation allowances, accommodation challenges, health and welfare concerns, as well as late dispatch of new students to host countries that adversely affect their ability to focus on their academic pursuits. Worried that the financial and logistical difficulties encountered by BA scholars abroad are not only detrimental to the academic performance, but it also negatively affects the reputation of the Nigerian government's scholarship programs.
Additionally, the House directed the Ministry of Education and relevant agencies to collaborate with Nigerian missions abroad to establish a dedicated support system for BEA scholars.
Chiamaka Enendu is here with the business news.
Nigerian financial institutions have announced an adjustment to the maximum over-the-counter withdrawal limit, increasing it to 50,000 naira per day from the previous limit of 5,000 naira, which was in effect last month. The decision to increase withdrawal limit is expected to help ease customer cash flow challenges. You will recall that the CBN had instructed banks to ensure sufficient cash is available for customers at the counter and at ATMs, warning that violations would result in penalties. The CBN had also released contact details for Nigerians to report erring banks across different states for possible sanctions. Away from that now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, the NNPCL, has officially commenced the next phase of its 2024 recruitment exercise for graduate trainees and experienced roles. According to report, successful candidates have been notified via email to proceed with the computer-based test, which is scheduled for the 7th of December 2024. And now to how the markets in Nigeria and across the globe performed during Wednesday's trading session, where we did see the Nigerian stock market close the trading session in the greens. And here is how the stock markets performed today. And that's it on business. My name is Chiamaka Enendu.
In the foreign news, South Korean opposition parties on Wednesday filed a motion to impeach President Yoon Suk Yeol after he declared martial law, only to reverse the move hours later. Thousands of protesters marched in Seoul and across the country, also demanding Yoon's resignation. The country's opposition parties, whose lawmakers jumped fences and tussled with security forces as they attempt to vote to overturn the martial law, submitted a motion to impeach Yoon and demanded that he step down immediately over the attempted insurrection. Impeaching Yoon will require the support of 2/3 of Parliament for the motion and then backing of at least, I'll take that again, and then backing of submitted a motion to impeach Yoon and demanded that he step down immediately over the attempted insurrection. Impeaching Yoon will require the support of 2/3 of Parliament for the motion and then the backing of at least 6 constitutional court justices. The leader of Yoon's own ruling party described the martial law attempt as tragic, and Defense Minister Kim Yoon-hyun tendered his resignation, expressing deep regret for the confusion and concern caused to the public. Yoon's shock bid to impose South Korea's first martial law in more than 4 decades, plunged the country into its deepest turmoil in her modern democratic history and caught South Korea's close allies around the world off guard. An Israeli drone attack on a food distribution point and a house in the Nusret refugee camp in central Gaza has killed at least 5 people, including 4 children. The attack also wounded at least 3 medics in the Kamal Adwan Hospital in northern Gaza's Beit Lahia town, the 5th by Israel's military on the medical facility in recent weeks. Israel's genocide Gaza has killed at least 44,502 Palestinians and wounded 105,454 since October 7, 2023. In Lebanon, at least 4,047 people have been killed and 16,638 wounded in Israeli attacks since the war on Gaza began. Meanwhile, United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the ceasefire in Lebanon is holding despite a series of accusations by Hezbollah that Israel had violated the terms of the deal. Time now to join Emmanuel Fashimi for some sports news.
The World Boxing Federation WBF President Howard Gov't has arrived in Nigeria to attend the highly anticipated Simplified Rumble in Rivers for Champions event in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. The bout is scheduled for December 7th between undefeated Taiwo Agbaje versus Brian James of Philippines on white card at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium. There are other 10 undercard bouts with Ebenezer Imbu, the face of Rivers, also in contention. Former heavyweight boxer Ike Ibiabuchi will also be in action. Mr. Gov't landed in Lagos, where he proceeded to Port Harcourt, Rivers State, the venue of the much-awaited bout. Expressing his excitement about the event, Howard said, "Very exciting news that we have a world title fight coming up in Port Harcourt, Rivers State in Nigeria on the 7th of December, and we place great emphasis on the importance of this fight, the magnitude of this fight." Mr. Gov't prioritized attending this event over a previously planned trip to Las Vegas. Gov't, who is the president of one of the world's top 10 boxing sanctioning bodies, has also arranged for a top European referee to officiate the event. He shared his enthusiasm for boxing progress in Nigeria and his hope for another Nigerian world champion, saying, "It is exciting news. Nigerian boxing belongs at the top, and hopefully we'll have a world champion after the 7th of December. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
With that, we come to the end of this Wednesday's edition of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. Thank you for watching. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Good night.